Alright, welcome back.
Good to go.
To part 2 of The Last of Us. So, probably the last time I'm going to be cutting it in 2 parts in such a weird way like I did here.
No, it's good. Look
Not
at the car.
now. You hear me?
Okay. You can do that.
Just ended up being how it kind of happened. Instead, I'm probably going to keep it as full sections of it before,
You touch it, you
instead
buy
of just cutting it, unless there's like a clean area to cut it. So they do a ton of world building through this whole part, so you can see that there's like a seedy
Leak.
underbelly
Oh, sorry, Tess.
in these areas that are controlled by the military, which I really like that they did that. I really am excited to see what kind of world building they end up doing in The Last of Us Part 2, which I'm going to be getting my copy on Tuesday, because for some reason Amazon has decided that that is when it will arrive. I can't change it at all.
I'm looking for Robert. You come through here?
Half hour ago. He went back to the wharf. He's there now.
Alright, so coming up here is going to be the first big section of gunplay. There's a little bit of it when you fight the couple of infected earlier. Not a ton.
Here we go.
Let us through.
You guys need to turn around and head back if you know what's good for you.
Our beef isn't with you. We just want Robert. You don't want to do this.
Turn the fuck around and leave now.
I'm not going anywhere without Robert.
Bitch, I will bash your skull unless you turn around and get your dumb ass out of here.
Fuck this.
Take cover!
You ready?
Yeah.
I have to say, I really like the music that plays through that scene.
You're dead, asshole.
So this is where my biggest complaint with this game comes in. It has to do with the gunplay. For some reason, and you don't really see it too much with the human enemies, but you'll see it a lot more, and I'll go over it a lot more when we fight a lot of infected, is the starting pistol. It really... it doesn't fire as fast as you pull the trigger, for some reason. And as a result, it feels very weird.
Nicely done, Texas.
You too. How the hell did he get all these guys?
If Robert's good at one thing, it's writing blank checks. Let's go put an end to that.
Also, there's a little bit hand-to-hand combat there, too. You can see that it's very brutal.
I'm not going through here.
Actually, kind of, I really like how the combat is. It just gets a little messy when you have to fight more than one enemy at a time with it.
There you go.
Alright, so coming up here is also like the first stealth section, or where they start to really emphasize that stealth is a good way to tackle most combat scenarios.
Over here, Joel. More of Robert's guys.
How do you know they're coming? 2 of our guys died trying to take Tess out. I guarantee that she and Joel are on their way here right now to get Robert.
Jesus. We shouldn't have taken this job.
Not our call. Let's spread out and make sure no one's creeping around in here.
Now, this is something that, and you're not going to see it until, you know, for a little bit, but
Move up. Move up.
the way that The Last of Us handles stealth, and it looks like they carry it over for the second game, is, so you heard that like droning noise. That's how you know if an enemy is starting to see you. There's no visual indicators, it's only by sound.
Showed up with a group of about 5 civs, all in handcuffs.
You take one out, I'll take the other.
Yes. Fireflies.
Yep. I lined them up against
And I think it's a really interesting way to do stealth. And you're gonna see me mess up royally here because I decide to stealth kill this guy when also it took his friend like forever to realize that I was there.
Well done.
Yeah, the combat is super brutal. And then I die right there. So, really, upsetting. So what I'm doing when I die is, unless it takes me multiple attempts, I'm just gonna kind of keep it in there. Makes it a little bit easier with editing. If I die multiple times, then I just cut with my first attempt and then, you know, cut to the attempt I was successful in. Again, this is Survivor difficulty. Up until a little bit later
Take
on,
one out, I'll take the other.
when I get to a certain part, and trust me, I'm gonna go over why it is that I really changed, you know, why it is that I really changed it to from Survivor difficulty to normal. Okay, so you can see here, that guy's out there. And I start to creep around because I'm trying to line up a shot on him. He pops up, starts running in, I hop out. He starts shooting at Tess. And that's something that's interesting that they do with this game in terms of when you grapple an enemy, is now instead of grappling it and strangling them, Joel will just throw him on the ground, stomp him, slam him into a counter, that kind of thing. Which, you know, I think is a really nice touch, because it's like, alright, stealth's out the window, no reason to just try and strangle a guy. Let's just take him out. And I'm just gonna do a quick check for everything. That's the other thing, is that in Survivor difficulty, there are very few items. It seems like they try to keep you to about a clip of ammo for everything.
Hey, consolidated the crates in the south warehouse. Supplies are locked up.
Good. Do another once-over and then head out. It's getting close to curfew.
Do a much better job here of making my way through this without
stay here by himself.
dying. So
We'll check in with the others and come up with something.
Okay.
another issue that I do have, and I wonder if they'll fix this in the sequel, is that there's literally just like a door separating these two different groups of guys. How come they didn't hear all the gunfire? You know,
Looks like you are good for
they
something.
just, if you, they're just kind of sectioning things off. These guys would have heard it. Although you could probably assume that they're thinking, oh well, you know, those guys took care of it. I don't have to be on alert.
Just be cool.
I just check down here just to see if there's anything to take, and there might be on normal difficulty, but again, this first part is in Survivor, and there's really not much to scavenge.
Cool. Take it easy, okay?
And then that guy finally notices
You're dead, asshole!
No, this is me.
Surround him!
The other issue that I have with the gunplay is that the default sensitivity, and I didn't realize this was the default sensitivity, is very, very, not low, but it's lower than what you would expect. It ends up feeling like Joel's legs are in cement. And just makes it a little bit difficult to
We should have brought more
get the
people.
proper
They just slow us
aiming and
down.
everything.
Yeah.
Especially against
Right.
like faster enemies, and I didn't realize it was on the default
The docks are
sensitivity
this way. Let's do this.
until later on. Alright, so this next area here is the wharf.
There's our boy. That cocky son of a bitch.
Let's go wrap this up.
Yeah, well, we lost our contacts in the north, lost our contacts in the south.
All in all, I feel like this
Let's
is
be smart about this.
not a bad like tutorial for how to like, you know, fight multiple enemies and fight human enemies. But I feel like there isn't a huge tutorial for how to fight infected enemies. You literally fight 3 infected. And that's it. Until like about an hour and a half, 2 hours into the game. Which to me just feels like that's a little unbalanced, especially since you do fight a lot more infected enemies than you do human enemies in this game. Alright, so you can see I'm doing a lot better with stealth. In all honesty, again, I would have kept this on survivor difficulty, but there's a section coming up that's I think it's in the next episode that's it's full of bullshit, and just couldn't continue playing through that on survivor difficulty, even though it's really only that section. But still, it took me like 5 tries before I finally decided to switch to normal difficulty.
Oh, God damn it!
Check over here. Check down there.
Somehow,
Not bad.
I mean, the droning just kept going. Somehow, no one was alerted by that, which blows my mind. Like it made it seem like a dude was just staring at that and went, eh. Didn't like that guy too much anyway.
Holy shit!
So again, you can kind of see that fighting multiple enemies at once with the combat can get a little janky, or with the melee combat at least. Can get a little bit janky, because that guy just happened to get a little bit too close, and then the last swing that would have taken out that one guy ended up connecting with that other dude. And then, I don't actually know, I didn't try it in this, and I've never actually tried it in any of the, of my playthroughs of this game, but I feel like you could probably just stealth through this whole thing and go right to here,
Robert must have run in there. Let's
and there'd be no issue.
Get the fuck back!
You just want to talk, Robert.
We got fucking nothing to talk about!
Put your gun down.
Go fuck yourself!
He's running.
Robert!
And then you get this really cool chase sequence.
Joel, this way. Come on, he ran in here.
I do have a slight... I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about this game, but this is obviously supposed to be very linear.
We almost got him.
And you might think he went to the left there, but that's just a giant open room.
Well, hello, Robert.
Tess. Joel. No hard feelings, right?
None at all.
All right.
God damn it!
We missed you.
Look, whatever it is you heard, it ain't true, okay? I just want to
The
say...
guns. You want to tell us where the guns are?
Yeah, sure, but it's complicated. All right? Look, all right, just hear me out on this. I got
Fuck. Stop! Stop! Stop!
Quit your squirming. You were saying?
I sold him.
Excuse me.
I didn't have much of a choice. I owed someone.
You owed us. I'd say you bet on the wrong horse.
I just need more time. Just, give me a week.
You know, I might have done that if you hadn't tried to fucking kill me.
Come on, it won't
Who
like
has
that.
our guns?
I can't. Just give me a couple days.
Who has our guns?
It's the Fireflies. I owed the Fireflies.
What?
Look, they're basically all dead. We could just go in there, finish them off. We get the guns. What do you say? Come on. Yeah, fuck those Fireflies. Just go get them.
That is a stupid idea.
Well, now what?
We go get our merchandise back.
How?
I don't know. We explain it to them. Look, let's just go find a Firefly.
You won't have to look very far.
There you go. Queen Firefly.
Why are you here?
Business. You aren't looking so hot.
Where's Robert? I needed him alive.
The guns he gave you, they weren't his to sell. I want them back.
Doesn't work like that, Tess.
The hell it doesn't.
I paid for those guns. You want them back? You're gonna have to earn them.
How many cards are we talking about?
I don't give a damn about ration cards. I need something smuggled out of the city. You do that, I'll give you your guns back, and then some.
How do we know you got them? Well, I hear the military's been wiping you guys out.
You're right about that. I'll show you the weapons.
Search the area. Yes, sir.
I gotta move. What's it gonna be?
I want to see those guns.
Follow me. We gotta get out of here. Now.
So this is one issue I have with this
You gotta
is just
move.
like the
They're
the
here.
luck that they
I know a
happen
way
to
around
just kill
this.
Robert,
Come on.
and then Marlene just happens to try and find Robert. I would have liked it better if they're like, all right, well now we got to go find the Fireflies, and then they start to look for the Fireflies, and then they find Marlene, who's like, oh, where's Robert? And then you find out, and then she finds out that Tess killed him, or something, or have him go all the way to the Fireflies and have Marlene be there. She could still be injured. I'm not saying that she doesn't have to be injured, but then be like, you know,
What's
well, I was
left?
gonna, you know,
Why do you
talk
think
to
I'm
Robert
turning
about
to you
something,
guys?
or even just have him be like, you know, Robert was
This way.
supposed to steal the guns, and I'd be like, well, I need you to
So
take,
why now?
We've been quiet.
you know,
Been planning on leaving the city, but they need a scapegoat. They've been trying to rile us up.
Looks like they did.
We're trying to defend ourselves. Joel, give me a hand with this.
Hey, how you holding up?
I'll live. Hold up. Soldiers. That's the way out. The door under the bridge.
I ain't a big fan of these odds.
We can sneak by them, even though I know that's not your style.
We'll see how it goes. Let's get moving.
We need to get to that door.
so again, they kind of reinforce that stealth should be your first option, even if you don't necessarily want to use stealth. I actually do really like just the overall combat and how everything flows in this game. I think that it's really, really well done.
Damn. We missed all the action.
I'll get this one.
Justice waits
Go
for no
around
one,
it.
Private.
Never got to play the multiplayer for this, which from what I've seen online, it seems like it was rather interesting, a different take on normal multiplayer, because this game came out
Good. Stay quiet.
during that awful time when every single game had to have multiplayer or some multiplayer aspect, so then you got a bunch of okay single player games with really bad multiplayer. But from what I've heard, the multiplayer for this game is pretty good.
They're out in numbers today.
And this area is really easy to get through. You know, all the enemies are just kind of staring off in one direction, so really easy to get the drop on them.
Good riddance.
Which is funny, because I think the first time I played this game back on the PlayStation 3, had a lot of issues getting through this area. Yeah, literally just two of the enemies in the entire area are moving. Completely mess up the headshot right there. Thankfully, Tess gets him out.
Not much further now. Go on, get inside.
Again, you could probably just stealth through that whole part. But we kind of imply that you should really try to
Where are we going,
fight
Marlene?
the soldiers there.
This way. It's not far now.
So, I think, again, in normal difficulty, I think there's some scrap or something there that you can get.
I'll make it.
But on Survivor, there is next to nothing, so...
The place is right up ahead.
Attention. Curfew is now in full effect. Anyone caught outside without proper authorization will be arrested and prosecuted.
The hell are we smuggling?
I'll show you.
Attention. Curfew is now in full effect. Anyone caught outside without proper authorization...
Alright, so I'm going to sign off for this episode. Again, if you liked it and you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment the video. And I will see you all next time.
Joel, give me a hand with this.
Whoa. Come on now. Get on up.
Fuck away from me! Let her go.
Well, you're recruiting kind of young, aren't you?
She's not one of mine.
Shit. What happened?
Don't worry, this is fixable. I got his help. But I can't come with you.
Well, then I'm staying.
Ellie, we won't get another shot at this.
Hey, we're smuggling her?
There's a crew of Fireflies that'll meet you at the Capitol building.
That's not exactly close.
You're capable. You hand her off, come back, the weapons are yours. Double what Robert sold me.
Speaking of which, where are they?
Back in our camp.
We're not smuggling shit until I see them.
You'll follow me. You can verify the weapons. I can get patched up. But she's not crossing to that part of town. I want Joel to watch over her.
Whoa, I don't think that's
Bullshit,
the
I'm not
best
going
Ellie.
with him. How do you know them?
I was close with his brother Tommy. Said if I was ever in a jam, I could rely on him.
Was that before or after he left your little militia group?
He left you too. He was a good man.
I could just take her to the North Tunnel and wait for me there.
Jesus Christ.
Just cargo, Joel.
No more talking. You'll be fine. Now go with him.
Don't take long. And you, stay close. Let's go.